west with me. We'll live in some wide open place and happy we will be. We'll have a little cabin with the ground for the floor, with no glass in the window and a bearskin for the door. So will you go out west? Will you go out west? Will you go out west with me? Will you go out west? Will you go out west? Oh, say, will you go out west with me?
Many years ago, the people of our land lived by the big ocean called the Atlantic. The waters of this ocean bumped against the east edge of our land and slid over the same sandy beaches we have today. Water and sky came together in a thin, faraway line. When the weather was fine, this line was always blue. If the weather was wet and foggy, this line was gray and jumpy. Sailing ships called schooners came and went with white sails puffed in the wind, bringing more and more new people to our land. Near the ocean were lots of trees and bushes, but no huddles and huddles of buildings or honking automobiles, and no crowds and crowds of children ready to squint up at airplanes flying over the tall buildings. In fact, towns were quite quiet. There were wooden wagons and horses to pull these wagons over stone and dirt streets. The rattle squeak of wagons and the neighing of horses was loud some of the time, but often the streets were empty, and all the streets soon ended in the trees.
Did people only go from place to place in wagons? Squeaky wagons?
Well, Billy, some people didn't even have wagons. They had to walk or ride on horses wherever they went. And then there were sailing boats on the ocean, and flat boats and rafts on the rivers, and canoes which the Indians taught the white men to make. Canoes are narrow and very light boats made from thin strips of wood and the bark of trees, all tightly pulled together. Canoes are light and tippy, but go fast on lakes and streams.
It must have been a funny land if everything ran so slowly. Nobody could get very far at all.
And no one did get very far, Billy, for a while. The rest of America, the West, was also a strange new place. Only Indians and wild animals lived in the West. Yet there were people called pioneers who wanted to go out west and lived there, too.
Pioneers. Pioneers.
Where is the one who will go out west with me?
We live in some wide open place and happy we will be.
We'll have a little cabin with the ground for the floor,
with no glass in the window and a bearskin for the door.
So, will you go out west? Will you go out west? Will you go out west with me? Will you go out west? Will you go out west? Oh, say, will you go out west with me?
When I am a cotton and it looks so much like rain,
you mustn't be afraid for to help get in the grain.
You mustn't be afraid if a hunting I should go,
to chase the wild deer or to hunt the mighty buffalo.
So, will you go out west? Will you go out west? Will you go out west with me? Will you go out west? Will you go out west? Oh, say, will you go out west with me?
I think I'd like to go to a strange new land, but I might be a little afraid. Could I go west with you, Mr. Pioneer?
Well, I don't see why not. Only first, you've got to change into pioneer clothing. Our clothing is made from the skin and fur of wild animals.
Like the door in the song?
Correct, sure enough. So I'm going to give you a deerskin suit and a beaver fur cap. This cap will be good to keep out rain and snow. After all, it kept a beaver dry, and beavers live in the waters of lakes and ponds a lot of the time.
My suit feels smooth and soft. It's warm. Why are so many long strings hanging from the edge of my coat, though?
So the rain and snow will drip off more easily. We'll be spending most of our time outdoors. We'll need warm, dry clothes that are strong. So off with your shoes now. Come on, heave-ho. Put on these new moccasins. They're also made of deerskin.
I can feel stones under my feet. Ouch!
Ouch or not, those moccasins are stout. Even if they're thin, they won't wear out. And your feet'll get tough wearing them. It's wiser to count on your feet being tough than your shoes being tough when you must do a lot of walking.
Will we walk all the way west?
No, not all the way. Right now, at least, we're going by wagon with 4 horses to pull the wagon and a cow to give us milk.
What a fat cow. What nice, strong horses. Say, our wagon looks like a schooner. The top is covered with white cloth.
Right you are. That's a canvas roof. The wagon is called a prairie schooner because it will take us across great fields, which we'll see later. These flat fields are the prairies. That's where most of the Indians live.
Can I bring my dog Blue along? He's a good watchdog.
Well, I don't see why not. He can help us with our hunting, for there won't be any grocery stores ahead of us, and at night he can be our guard. All right, you and Blue hop up on the wagon seat and see to it that nothing falls out. Our bearskin blankets, long rifles and bullets, cooking pot and pan, seeds of grain to plant on the plains are all inside under the roof. I'll climb up on the horse nearest to you and use this long cracking whip to make our horses skip. Hi there, Bess. We mustn't forget her either. We'll tie her up by this long rope to our wagon. But some of the time, you can walk alongside her and lead her by a rope. Aboard. Come on, hang on. Get up there, fellas. You, Princess. You, Buster Boy. We're going west.
Sweet Betsy from Pike, who crossed the wide prairies with her friend named Ike, with 2 pair of oxen and 1 spotted hog, a tall Shanghai rooster and a big yellow dog. Doodle-dee, doodle-dee, doodle-dee. They soon reached the desert where Betsy gave out, and down in the sand she lay rolling about, while Ike in great terror looked on in surprise, saying, Betsy, get up, you'll get sand in your eyes. Doodle-dee, doodle-dee, doodle-dee. Tipped over with a terrible crash, and out on the prairie rolled all sorts of trash. But I gave a sigh and gave Betsy a hug, and she went right along all wrapped up in a rug. Toodle-dee, toodle-dee, toodle-dee. Ran off with an egg in its side, the last piece of bacon that morning was fried. Poor Ike was unhappy and Betsy got mad. The dog wagged his tail and looked wonderful sad. Toodle-dee, toodle-dee.
Mr. Pioneer, look. I can see more covered wagons over there.
Oh, lots of people are going west together. Trains of wagons. Whole families with all their belongings piled behind.
Why are they going west, I wonder? Shh, Blue.
Why? There's not enough grass for all their cows and horses to eat beside the Atlantic Ocean. There's not enough room for all of them to plant crops like wheat and corn in the east either. So they must go west. Some will look for gold and silver. Some folks will hunt or trap wild animals for their skins and fur. And some of them just want to look at a new land.
The houses are gone. I can't see any more town. There's only the rattle squeak of our wheels on a rock, or the shushing of the wheels in the dirt track. It's quiet.
Do you want to turn back along the track? We've still time. No? Ah, good boy. Soon the smallest roads will end in the trees. Every boy and girl knows about at least one tree. You climb up into the branches, except in slippery, cold wintertime when snow shoots down your collar. Brr, but have you ever seen a place with many, many thousands of trees? Armies of trees and armfuls of trees and almost no people?
Trees everywhere. We're going west between thousands and thousands of trees.
Tall, bumpy trees, straight, smooth trees, straighter than a bedpost, bending at the top a little at a time, bowing at the top as is done by a pine. We'll follow the tracks made by the wheels of other wagons. The houses are gone, the chimney smoke is gone. There'll be no windows or lamps to light up the night. We're close to the frontier where few folks live. There's no ice cream carts, no children's play yards. The branches and boughs are seesaws and swings, but not for boys and girls, only for squirrels. Dark, cool trees as far as we can see. There, listen. The trickety-trickety-trick of a rabbit or a possum, or any woodland creature that taps its toenails over dry leaves. Or is it the wind dashing helter-skelter, not a rabbit seeking shelter? Even the spider's silky web moves in the breeze. Tiptoe go the birds atop this wall of trees.
Grumpy and bumpy trees get in our way, and slappity-snap. Biff you in the face with low branches.
Head low, bob for an apple, though here they don't grow. Catch each branch and let it free slow.
That's talk for dancing.
Turn left, Oakwood, turn in the breeze. Swing away, hot sun. Stay behind the tree.
And don't be hiding engines, whatever you do, please.
Giddy up there, team. No more joking. By dark, we're due at Rackety Creek, where water runs fast and is good and clear to drink. Come on, Buster boy. Keep on going at a good step. Not going to let an old cow like Betsy pass you, are you?
You talk so seriously to Buster.
Oh, I do, because he understands. Animals may not understand each word we say, but they do have a way of knowing whether we mean to be gentle. Animals like quiet words and quiet hands touching them, not grabby hands. Uh-oh, look what I see. I think Sir Possum is going to make us a fine supper for tonight. Whoa there, boy. Whoa, whoa, girl. Now, everybody quiet.
But...
Quiet. If you peek to the left of those two round rocks over there, you'll see something. Oh, there it goes out of sight. Blue, find us that possum. Go, Blue, skedaddle. We'll follow him, Billy, as soon as I get out my powder horn and my long rifle.
Hey, that rifle is almost twice as long as your arm.
Made long and straight, to shoot long and straight. I bought it in the state of Kentucky. Now, keep behind me always, Billy, and don't make any noise. Let's go.
Blue's found the possum.
He surely has. He's treed our possum. Way, way up there in the top branches, you see?
Oh, yes. But it looks like a little mouse.
Maybe from here it does. That's because the tree's so high. That old possum is much, much bigger than a mouse. As big as Blue, I'll bet. Now, hold your breath and hold still while I do the same. Cock the hammer, aim a Kentucky rifle, and gently squeeze the trigger.
It's falling! You hit it! First shot!
First shot and possum in the pot. Miss that shot and sky's all you got. We'll load up, Sir Possum, and get to Rackety Creek as soon as we can. Yeah, there's our creek. It's no more than 3 feet deep, so we'll ford it. Now let's make camp. You and I'll drink the water upstream beyond the spot where the animals drink. This creek falls straight from that high hill behind us. We'll drink from moving water before it ever reaches the animals. Then I'll unhitch the horses, and you can gather armfuls of big dry sticks for the campfire. Then while I'm cooking possum, you can fill up our wooden water keg. For tomorrow we'll come to land that's dry and has little water.
Being a pioneer is an awful lot of work. Still, I like it. Yum, that possum tasted good.
Some folks call this big black iron cooking pot a squirrel can.
Well, we had possum in it. Blue liked it too.
10 squirrels could fit nose to nose or tail to tail in this pot. Or maybe 3 possums. Wouldn't they, Blue?
I had an old dog, and his name was Blue. And I bet you $5 he's a good dog too. Say, come on, Blue. I chased that possum up a great big tree. Blue looked at the possum, possum looked at me, saying, come on, Blue, you can have some too. I baked that possum till it's good and brown. Baked some sweet potatoes round and round and round, saying, come on, Blue, I'm a-comin' too. When I get to heaven, first thing that I'll do is to grab my horn and blow for good old Blue, saying, come on, Blue, finally got him too. I had an old dog, and his name was Blue, and I bet you $5 he's a good dog too, saying, come on, Blue.
Time for the pioneers to get some sleep. First we'll wash the pans and brush our teeth by the creek.
I've got no toothbrush. There's no soap to wash the pans with either.
Well, I'll pull this twig from this branch. That'll be your toothbrush. It's perfectly good. And we use plenty of sand and plenty of elbow grease to scrub out the pans. There, now, let's climb inside our bearskin and get some sleep. We'll be busy again tomorrow.
Mr. Pioneer?
Yes, Billy?
It's lonely here.
Kind of.
I hear funny noises in the night.
Animals big and little come out at night to drink and hunt. They see better in the dark, many of them. Nature has given the owl and the fox, the deer and the bear the gift to look right into the dark the way you and I can see in daylight, or to sniff the air for friends and enemies. See the moon on the water? A mother beaver's daughter swimming in the water. Old Mr. Owl paying his calls to every tree and bush.
Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Oh, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Oh, won't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Oh, Mr. Owl, ain't you coming out tonight? Ain't you coming out tonight? Ain't you coming out tonight? Oh, Mr. Owl, ain't you coming out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Oh, ain't you coming out tonight? Ain't you coming out tonight? Ain't you coming out tonight? Oh, ain't you coming out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Mother Beaver's daughter, ain't you coming out tonight? Ain't you coming out tonight? Ain't you coming out tonight? Mother Beaver's daughter, ain't you coming out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Oh, ain't you coming out tonight? Ain't you coming out tonight? Ain't you coming out tonight? Oh, ain't you coming out tonight and dance by the light of the moon?
Billy Buckskin.
What?
Billy Buckskin's asleep. Even Blue has both eyes almost, yes, all the way shut. Both of them sighing and ready to snore. I guess I'll do the same. Nod my head in a bearskin bed. Now that the sun's gone down in the west, let the stars tell the rest.